Next, I'm going to introduce with a couple of words a very good friend and colleague, Anne Lieberman. When I first met Anne, I think it was probably 20 years ago now, I was so struck by her intense, inquiring mind. She always began with a series of questions, and she kept piling question on question until she got to the heart of the matter. When she first told me she wanted to study the National Writing Project, I thought, well, lots of luck. We don't let outsiders in very easily. And one of the greatest moments came when she presented her first research into us. Our founder, Jim Gray, was in the audience, also somebody not very friendly towards outside people, whom we used to keep a list of people on his list. You know what I mean. And he went up to Anne afterwards, and he put his arms around her. So please welcome a good friend and colleague, Anne Lieberman.
Thanks, Richard. I am really honored to be here. And I must say that Jim, not only, he put his arms around me and he said, "You're going to make us famous outside the writing project." You should know that you have helped to give me the best professional experience of my career. And it has been a long one. Whoops. Nope. Oh, I've already messed up. Get rid of that.
Yeah, I will.
That's good. That helps ease it. It all started for me and the writing project in 1997 while I was working as a professor at Teachers College. My colleagues and I were bringing together teachers, principals, and reformers together in kind of an informal way to study and work with them. And we formed what we thought were these little networks. And we were so excited because these networks seemed to accomplish so much. And they were so powerful that I set out to study how they worked, what their problems were, and why they became successful. When I told a longtime friend of mine, Milbrey McLaughlin, a noted policy researcher, what I was finding out, she said, "That's really interesting, but why don't you study a real network, the National Writing Project?" So I set out to design a study of the National Writing Project in hopes that I would dispel the growing notion at that time, and continuous, that teachers learn all kinds of things in their summer programs that never reach their classrooms. Our design was to study the Summer Institute and then follow 6 teachers into their classrooms to see if they used any of the strategies and learnings from the Summer Institute. I took UCLA, an older urban site, and Diane Wood, my partner in the study, took Oklahoma State University, a younger, more rural site. And during my second visit to UCLA, Faye Pleitzman, a co-director, had set up a meeting with a group of teacher consultants after school to introduce the study. As I entered Moore Hall, a place that I had been many times before as a student, my legs got wobbly and I got a serious bellyache. For many years, people have said that the Writing Project has transformed their lives. We want to know how this happens. The room literally erupted with comments. It gave me a community of teachers who cared passionately about improving their practice. We have tackled the toughest problems of urban teaching and found many colleagues willing to engage in the struggle. Going to the Summer Institute as a new teacher not only kept me in teaching, but it taught me what it means to be a real professional. At 6 o'clock, no one got up to leave. The study had officially begun. After studying the Summer Institute, we went to these 6 teachers' classrooms to see if anything that we could see from the Summer Institute had made its way into teachers' practice. Laura Jacobs was teaching 2nd grade for the 2nd year. Her big challenge was to figure out how to use the many strategies that she had learned at the UCLA Summer Institute with her bilingual students. Prop 227 had just been passed, a bill that was to end bilingual education in California. In her school, a very effective bilingual program had just been dumped. Laura, who speaks fluent Spanish, exchanged her 4 native English speakers with her fellow second-grade teacher, giving her all Spanish-speaking students. When I asked her whether she was using any of the things she had learned in the Summer Institute, she smiled broadly, and she said, "Just look." There was the author's chair in front of the room. She paired students for book talks. She created time for silent reading, instituted writing workshops, taught them how to use the computer to draft, revise, and publish their stories. There was a word wall. She even planned a breakthrough event when her students wrote poems to their mothers in both English and Spanish on Mother's Day. But, she said passionately, it wasn't just the Mother's Day poetry lesson that was so great, but I had been living, teaching, and implementing writing project ideas since September. All those things that we learned, pre-writes, cooperative learning, brainstorming, journal entries of all kinds, all of these things were the building blocks that I had learned and begun to use. Upon completing our study, I remember going to the national office and saying to Richard, "You have a gold mine here. Why aren't you studying the leaders in the National Writing Project?" As a result, Linda Friedrich and I started a new study. This time we worked collaboratively with 31 writing project teacher consultants as they wrote short vignettes about a slice of their leadership work. After everybody had written and revised their vignettes several times, we realized that they had helped create a brand new definition of leadership. In focus group conversations, the vignette authors told us, "We are that community building type of leadership where we know where we're going is solid, and we know that the more people who buy in, the stronger the work is going to be. A leader is someone who can help you puzzle through your own questions rather than someone who can supply the answers. A teacher leader is someone who's willing to stand up and say what's right in front of the world." It's like Laura, I was so excited about getting inside the writing project. This is where I need my tissue. It stood for so many things that I believed in and had been writing about, studying, and teaching for years. Here I saw a large network grounded in teachers' knowledge where there were opportunities and support for learning, a group of colleagues who cared passionately about their students and learned to care about each other, a place where you could learn leadership, learn to be a writer and a teacher of writing, and tackle with knowledge and enthusiasm the inevitable problems of teaching. As Milbury McLaughlin had told me earlier, this was a real network, an organizational form that could grow and change, a way of working that was truly collaborative, a network that dignifies teachers and teaching. In short, a community that recognizes teachers' knowledge as a critical component of both competence and commitment to both teaching and learning. Thank you very much.